In Summary Task 2, you'll configure your pilot. First, you'll create and configure your web map, and then test your web feature layer, all in ArcGIS Online. And then you'll use ArcGIS Field Maps to pilot your data collection. Back in ArcGIS Pro, I can access my new web feature layer directly by clicking on the Manage the Web Layer hyperlink in my Share as Web Layer pane. But I'm going to go ahead and close my panes and minimize ArcGIS Pro and open up a new internet browser window. And I'm going to access it by going to arcgis.com. I'm going to click on the Sign In button and sign in with my ACC organizational account credentials. And then once I'm signed in to my arcgis.com or ArcGIS Online account, I'm going to click on the Content panel. And then in the Content panel, I can see both my web feature layer that was created as well as the service definition, which are just the parameters I entered in to the pane to create it. I'm going to click on the actual hyperlink for the web feature layer, and that opens up my web feature layer item. There you can see the title of it, Tree Survey, and Sean Moran for my name. It'll be your name for you. And there you can see my trees web feature point layer. I'm going to click on the Open in Map Viewer, and that's going to add my point web feature layer to a new web map. So there you can see it listed under layers, and I'm going to go ahead and maximize my browser window. So there in the Layers panel, you can see my Tree Survey point feature layer. Over on the toolbar on the right, you can see I have various options that I can use to set up my web map. And you can expand or collapse the toolbar by clicking on the double arrows at the bottom. We're going to start by configuring the pop-ups. I'm going to click on Configure Pop-ups. And I just want to confirm that 1, my pop-ups are enabled, and 2, the pop-up will include the title, a fields list, and the attachments, which is the image that we're going to post with each tree survey point collected. So it's all set up correctly, so I'm going to close my pop-ups. Now I want to zoom in to my AOI, or area of interest, and that's going to depend on where you actually conduct your tree survey. For this video, I'm going to do it at what's called Little Zilker Park in my neighborhood. And so I'm going to set my extent to include all of Little Zilker Park, and to the north there you can see Zilker Elementary School where my kids went to school. Once you get your AOI set, you want to go ahead and save your web map. So I'm going to click on Save and Open and Save. And then that's going to open my Save Map window, and I need to title my map. And I'm just going to give everything the same title, tags, and summary. So tree_survey_Sean_Moran. My tags are going to be ACC, GIS, Austin, tree, survey. My summary is going to be tree survey for my AOI. And I'm going to go ahead and just save it in my default folder there. Once you get it all entered in, go ahead and click Save Map. And notice in the upper left-hand corner, that renames my map to my tree survey, your name, or my name, Sean Moran. All right, now that I have my web map created, I want to update my settings and sharing. So I'm going to go back to the content page. There in the content page, you can see, of course, my tree survey feature layer. And you can also see my new tree survey web map. And if I click on the hyperlink for the tree survey web map, That'll open up the item page where I can update my settings and my sharing. So on the menu at the very top there, I'm going to go all the way to the right and click on Settings. I'm going to update my settings to make sure that I can open it in ArcGIS Field Maps. So I'm going to scroll down and first confirm that Enable Offline Mode is enabled. That will allow me to use my web map without an internet connection. And then scroll all the way down and make sure that the box for Use in ArcGIS Field Maps Mobile is also checked and enabled, so I can use it in my mobile app. Once you've confirmed your settings, go back to the Overview page. Now I can update the share settings here, but I want to show you why I'm updating the share settings. So I'm going to do it from the Content page. So if I go to the Content page, when we published our web feature layer, you can see that we shared it with the ACC organization and the ACC group. And so we want our web map to have the same sharing properties. So go ahead and click on the icon, and we're going to set the sharing level as organization, which is our ACC organization, and then click on Edit Group Sharing and select the ACC group and click OK. And then save our sharing settings. And then now back in the content page, I can see that the sharing settings for my web feature layer and my web map are the same. All right, I'm going to go ahead and return to the web map item page. And then in the web map item page, I'm going to click on Open in Map Viewer. And now we're going to test our web feature layer. And we'll do that on the right-hand side. I'm going to go to Edit and click on Edit. That opens up the Editor panel. And then now I just need to click a large, medium, or small tree. I'm going to click a large tree and then go onto my map and click somewhere on my map. And that adds the tree feature. I'm going to set the type. Notice that my attribute domains are restricting my values for my fields. I can also enter in the health manually if I don't use the spinner, and I can type in a note. I'm going to type in the note that says test tree delete and click create. All right, so that added the point feature with attributes to my web map. I'm going to click back and I'm going to close the editor pane. And now if I click on my tree, I can see my associated attributes that I've entered in, including some of the system attributes. All right, now what I want to show you is how this is reflected back in ArcGIS Pro. You don't have to do this, you can just watch. But in ArcGIS Pro, we still have our trees point feature class. Now our trees point feature class, if I zoom in to my AOI or area of interest, which is Little Zilker Park in South Austin, there's no tree there. And there's no tree because my geodatabase feature class does not include the tree. So if I list by data source, you can see that the trees point feature class is coming from my local project geodatabase. But if I go ahead and remove my trees feature layer, and then now I'm going to re-add it from the catalog pane, but instead of from my geodatabase, I'm going to go to the portal, which is ArcGIS Online, and I'm going to load my tree survey web feature layer directly from ArcGIS Online and add it back to my map and my contents pane. So there you can see it's added back, and I can see my test tree is there. And when I click on the pop-up there, I can see the attributes I entered as well. Now, the cool thing about being able to load a ArcGIS Online web feature layer directly in ArcGIS Pro Desktop is watch what happens when I add another tree. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse some of my toolbars so I can see. I'm going to add a small tree and add some attributes evergreen, small, set my health to 3, and add a note. And then click Create. And so that creates the point feature with the attributes in my web feature layer. And if I refresh my ArcGIS Pro desktop, there I can see that new small tree added as well. Now, we're not going to use that for this project, but it's something that is good to know going forward. I've actually used this a lot as a professional, where I've edited data both in ArcGIS Pro Desktop and also in ArcGIS Online and in the field using ArcGIS field maps. I'm going to go ahead and return, and now I want to delete my features because they're just my test features, they're not my actual tree survey. So I'm going to select each one and select delete. And delete. And then, of course, if I go ahead and close my editor panel, and you can see there's no trees in my web feature layer in my web map. And if I refresh my ArcGIS Pro Desktop, my point features are now removed. All right, so that's it for ArcGIS Pro Desktop. I'm going to go ahead and save my ArcGIS Pro and close ArcGIS Pro. We're going to do everything else for now on in ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Field Maps. So I'm going to maximize my web map window and go ahead and save my web map.